Welcome to ForexToolShop, the #1 Forex robot reviews and ratings site on the Internet.
Optimization can be a very important factor for many trading strategies. And what optimization does is it checks a certain parameter within an expert advisor against a multitude of values to see which value would have produced the best profit or the best profit factor or some other measure for your system. So to get a better idea of what optimization is, we're going to open up the platform here and we're actually going to run an optimization of the expert advisor called moving average. We're going to run it on the US dollar yen, and we're going to run it for every tick. Actually, we're probably going to run it on control points, which is less accurate, but for time's sake we're going to go ahead and put it on control points. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to check the optimization box. And now we're going to open up the expert properties. You can see here within inputs there's all these parameters. These parameters are specific to the expert advisor. And so the input we're going to optimize is something called moving period. And to get a good idea of exactly what moving period is, we're going to sort of sidetrack here and we're going to open up the source file. You can see here's moving period, it's set at 12. And we can also go down here and we can find moving period within the expert advisor. So we scroll down, we can see here's moving period. It's referenced in a moving average, so we know it stands for moving average period. And the exact value is the third parameter. So it's the period for calculation. So moving period is set to 12, so it's a 12 period moving average. If we were to set that value to 21, it would be a 21 period moving average. If we were to set it to 55, it would be a 55 period moving average, etc. So now we know a little bit about that parameter. We can go ahead and optimize it. Now you don't necessarily need to go into the code and look at that. A lot of the expert advisors you buy don't allow you to go into the code. But just for this example's sake, it's sort of good to know what we're working with. But you certainly don't have to go into the code and look at it to know the exact details of the input in question. So we're going to go back into the inputs. So for moving period, we're going to check this little box that just tells the tester that this is a parameter we want to optimize. And value, for the time being, we can ignore. We're going to start with start. Now the start value will be the first value that the strategy tester plugs into for the value of moving average. So what's going to happen is the first pass of the strategy tester, it's going to plug 12 into the value of moving average, which is its default value. So we're going to set the step to 2, and we're going to set the stop to 20. So what's going to happen now? The first time the strategy tester plugs in a value for moving period, it's going to be 12. And so it's basically just going to do a back test with this moving period set to 12. And when it's done with that, it's going to increase moving period by 2, so to 14, and run a back test with moving period at 14. And then it's going to go to 16, and then 18, and then all the way up to the stop value, or 20. So what's going to happen here is the strategy tester is going to conduct 5 back tests, each one changing this moving period value. It's going to show us which one was the most profitable. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to click optimization. You can specify some parameters in here. It's usually best to leave them at default. Testing, we're actually going to uncheck genetic algorithm. That's a more advanced feature that if you're doing hundreds and hundreds of passes of optimization, checking multiple variables, genetic algorithm will sort of be able to detect which combination of variables are the most accurate, and it will scale down its search, so it won't optimize every possible parameter set. It'll sort of focus in on the ones that are just going to do the best, but we're going to turn that off for now. An optimized parameter, in this case we're worried about balance, which its optimized parameter is the factor that's being determined. We want to know which one is best based on balance. If you are, wanting to do drawdown, you could certainly sort these by drawdown. You want to know which set of parameters will produce the lowest drawdown. But in this case, we're going to use balance. We want to know which set of parameters will return the highest balance when the testing is done. So we're going to click OK. We have everything set up here. We're only going to optimize for 1 month on control points. We're going to go ahead and click Start. And so this optimization is going to begin. Now, we only did one parameter and we did it on control points, so it's already done. That didn't take very long. And so one thing to note here is we only see 2 passes. Now the reason for that is because we have skip useless results check. So we're going to uncheck that. We're actually just going to do it again here because it only takes a second. So now that it's done, we can see all 5 passes here. And we can see the moving periods of, sure enough, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. And so we can sort these by profit. You can see, okay, the one that produced the most profit of $177 was moving period 14. So we know that moving period 14 produced the highest amount of profit for the time period of December of 2009. So that is optimization in its rawest form. Now you could come back into the inputs and plug in even more values. Okay, we could optimize this with moving shift, which is just how much you shift the moving average. So we do a start of 5, step by 1, and we'll end at 10. So now it's going to optimize both of these parameters to see the best combination that will be delivered. So we we click start. Now there's going to be 30 passes it did. So again, if you wanted more accuracy to this, you could go in and do every tick. But since it just did 30 passes, we can go in here. We can see for these 30 passes, the combination of moving period 12 and moving shift 8 produced profit of $727. Now you can see why this is important to trading strategies and how it can help you optimize your current trading strategies. If you're building a trading strategy, how you can use optimization to improve the trading strategy you're building. Now, not every expert advisor will use optimization. It sort of depends on the internal nature of the strategy. Many expert advisors do use optimization, and when you see updates come out for expert advisors, they pretty much a lot of the time just optimize the strategy and are giving you an update of the system. So that is how you optimize. The whole topic of optimization you can go into much more detail. I would recommend doing some more research on our site or emailing us if you have any questions about optimization. One more thing we're going to talk about real quick is curve fitting, where if you optimize too many parameters, so if we go back into expert properties and we did all these, if we optimize all these parameters and find the best combination, and some strategies have dozens and dozens of external variables in here that you could optimize. If you were to optimize all those and find a very specific set of parameters that does really well, and you apply it to the live market on a forward test, you're going to notice that it probably won't do too well. This is what's called curve fitting. If you go in here and optimize every variable down to the last T, you're going to find a trading strategy that only works on a very specific set of market data, and it's going to be the set of market data that you ran the optimization for. In our case, we did it for 1 month or 1 year. That's curve fitting, and you're going to find that will not work out in the long run a lot of times. And again, you've just narrowed down your strategy so it only works on a narrow set of market data. So that's something that you have to be careful of. And other than that, you have a basic understanding of optimization. If you have expert advisors that you're using for your trading, recommend you go and try to optimize them. And if you're considering purchasing an expert advisor, you can certainly optimize the expert advisor you purchase.